as well. So let's just get started for today. All right. Good morning, everyone. Simon Ogilvie-Lee here, CEO and founder of Ninjodo. And today I want to take you through something that I feel a lot of entrepreneurs skip over and don't understand quite how powerful it can be for them and helping their conversions. So the topic of today's one is really around why other people sell your business better than you do, and then obviously what you can do about it. So as we go through today, you'll have Q&As perhaps of what we're already doing, but if you've got any about Ninjodo as well, fire them through, that's okay. We will cover them in the Q&A session at the end in depth, and if anything's coming up throughout the session, Alina's going to be there on chat, she can help as well. As always, anyone who's attending the webinar this week, if you're a new attendee, you'll be getting a copy of the latest ebook that I've written, Escaping the Entrepreneurial Rat Race, 5 Ways to Double Your Revenue, Working Less Hours with Clients You Love. And these are strategies that you can apply in any business, no matter what industry, what sector. So in a bit more detail, what are we going to be covering off today? Well, firstly, the importance of social proof and how you're running your business and how social proof can help you get to where you're trying to get to a lot faster. I'll go through the best weapon you have available when it comes to social proof, and then how you're going to be able to use that to your advantage. We'll also go through what not to do when you're using that weapon, because when you put a weapon in the hands of someone who's skilled, it works well for them. When you put it in the hands of someone who's not, it can do damage. What makes a great one and where to use it? There are many places that we're going to be able to use this weapon in your business to really help increase all sorts of different conversions from the beginning of your sales funnel to the end of your service delivery with your clients. Then we're going to show you how to actually get them implemented in your business using Ninjodo so that it becomes part of your everyday routine and it just becomes part of your processes and it becomes more automatic. We've also got a special beta release that we're going to give you a sneak peek on later today. Okay, so why is social proof so important? Think about going to eat in a restaurant. If you were to look at what's on screen here, we have option A and we have option B. Both are restaurants, both are places where you could get fed, but when you're deliberating and choosing what you actually want to be eating, in the chat box, just go over to the right-hand side, pick which option would you like to eat at, option A or option B. So on option A, we have a very empty restaurant, one guy just sitting there alone. Option B, we have what looks like a noodle bar or a sushi bar, and it's got a lineup out the door. So if you were going to go and eat, which would you be thinking of, option A or option B? So you can see some option Bs coming through, absolutely. All right, what about this next one? Again, option A or option B? Which one feels like a restaurant you'd want to go and sit at and spend your money in and give it a go if you'd never eaten at either of them before? Option A on the left, we've got the waiter setting all the tables. They're all nicely, neatly done. Everything's clean, but the place is empty. And in option B, we've got everybody sitting down, having beers, having a laugh, really good ambience. It's a packed out house. And yep, once again, option B. And one more example. Again, option A, option B. So on the left, we have a really nice, clean restaurant, good tables, plenty of wait staff. You'll get served really, really quickly. And then we have option B, a little bit more, perhaps less polished of a restaurant, but it's completely packed. There's all the food up on the walls. And again, everyone's saying B. So what is it about this social proof thing that's making us continually pick option B when clearly we're going to have to wait longer for our food because there are more people in front of us? Well, when we think about why it is so important, have a think about these points. We now operate in marketplaces in every industry, every sector, wherever your business operates, which are saturated. People are constantly bombarded with advertising messages, social media posts. people saying this and that. Advertising is literally everywhere. And what we need to be able to do is cut through that noise to speak to our customers. And social proof is one of the ways that we can do that. Firstly, when people come up and are first introduced to your business or your product or your service or even you, they don't trust what you say. They don't know who you are. They haven't heard of you before. They're looking to solve a problem. So it doesn't matter how good you say you are, people aren't going to trust that. They won't believe it yet. People also don't really care about the product or service that you are offering, contrary to popular belief. And as entrepreneurs, we are in our business, we feel that we sell our product or our service and we do it well and we do it with good service and bad service. But what people are actually looking for is a result or an outcome or a headache to go away or a problem to be solved. So touting on about our products and services, whilst it's important that they understand that we have those, it isn't the be all and end all thing that's going to help people get across the line. We need to address that question of what is in it for them. What are they likely to be getting by choosing to work with you? And you, in that whole conversation, that whole decision process, come later, after the actual relationship gets started. So talking about yourself early on in the piece is going to mean that you're getting less people making inquiries. You're going to have a lower performing website, a lower performing landing page, and an empty social media area. You need to be thinking around, what are your customers actually looking for? What are they trying to solve? What are the problems? What are the headaches? And then how are you going to be able to address that? So if we think about all of that in context and think, okay, well, what is the number one thing that we could do in our business, in our marketing, in our sales to give people social proof that addresses all of those points? Plain and simple, testimonials. So a testimonial, when we say testimonial, all we mean is simply somebody else's experience or story about what it was or has been like to work with you or use your services. So 3 key points in that. One is somebody else's experience or story. Second, what was it like or what has it been like? People want to know, what's the experience, what are they likely to expect? They're about to part with their cash or part with their time, and they want to make sure that they're not the first person to be breaking the ice. They need to see it's happened with somebody else, it worked for somebody else, great, it can work for me too. So when we think about this weapon, testimonials, and I'll get to all the different places that you can use them and why they work so well in different areas, it's really important to think about how not to use this weapon. There's no point having testimonials that are not personal. They don't have a name associated with them. They're not related to an actual person. When people are reading testimonials, they need to be saying in their head subconsciously, oh, that's like me, or oh, I'd like to have that outcome. So if you're using very stock standard or generic or not specific testimonials, they're not going to do a lot for you, and you might as well perhaps not even have them. Second point there, and I've seen this a lot on different websites, is having a testimonials page. Great that there is one, but if that page is just full of text, all text, paragraph, 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 people don't have time to scroll through that information. They may start looking, but there's a hell of a lot more that you could do to that to make it more impactful, and actually requires a lot less testimonials than having a big long list. More testimonials can be good, but if it's not presented well, it can actually hurt you. Number 3, we touched on already, being generic, being specific. So just saying someone's great or someone's awesome or yes, I'd recommend them, that's not a very good testimonial, and it's not going to have the weighting and have the efficacy that you need. And number 4, don't use a testimonial if it makes you seem like an ass. A little bit blunt, but if you frame your testimonials in such a way that make you seem like, hey, look how good we are, that's not really the point of the testimonial. You need the testimonial for other people to tell other people how good you are and why they should use you. So let's have a look at a bad example of a testimonial. And you may find if you've ever asked people for testimonials before, you quite often get the response, "What do you want me to say?" And then the typical response back to that is, "Just tell me how it was for you." If people aren't used to writing testimonials, not everybody feels like a writer, and being creative and coming up with the right kind of short sentence paragraph to present your business and your service in the best possible light, it's good if you can give them a little bit of guidance. So if you don't, it's likely you might get something a little bit bland like this. "I'm more than happy to recommend Joe Blogs Plumbing. They helped us fix our sink. The price was pretty good." Now, obviously, I'm dumbing down some of that language, but you get my point. You've all seen testimonials and reviews that are a little bit empty and shallow. So what is it that might make an actual an actual testimonial good? You can come over to the right-hand side in the chat. Tell me some different things that if you've ever gone and bought another service and seen a testimonial, what was it about that that made it work well for you? Maybe what was in the actual text? What was it saying? What was around the text? Was there anything else associated with it, like a name or a photo? Did you ever see a video testimonial? So the person writing it was credible. That's a really good example. So somebody's brought that up. So if the actual person giving the testimonial is a recognizable person, then other people can go, "Ooh, if that person uses that product or service, then yes, I definitely want to use it. It must be great." Seeing that there was a high level or good quality of service, fantastic, Dora and Amber. So those types of things, you can see that it's in the detail that makes a testimonial good. So if we have a look now at an actual good example. So on the left-hand side, we've actually got a photo of the person, and the photo itself is actually quite reasonable. It's personable. There's a smile on the face. It feels like anybody else you might meet in the street. And a lot of people would associate, that's nice, that's pleasant, that's great. That's a real person. We've also got an actual name. So we have only used a first name here. Some people are happy for you to do first name, last name. They don't have any problems with privacy, but other ones might want it to be a little bit more obscure. So if you need to make it obscure, you can use just a first name and perhaps a location. If you can put an actual business name, if you're in the B2B space, that's also going to have more weight to it because it's just adding to the mental tick boxes that people do saying, is this a real testimonial and does it have any weight? So a few other things that are coming through, seeing that the testimonial itself is actually honest, having honesty. Now, if we actually read this testimonial, we can see how it contrasts from the previous one. So as a mortgage broker running my business at 200 kilometers per hour, it was easy for me to lose track of what deals clients I was working on and their urgency. Thanks to Ninjodo, I now feel that I have a bird's eye view of all my clients and activities. I'm loving the order and control I now have in the business, and the beauty is it's very easy to use. So in this particular testimonial, we've got a lot of key points that we touch on, and I'll show you what makes up a good one. So in the text itself, we've got mortgage broker. So it's very quickly going to speak out to people in the finance space. We've also got the problem that that person was facing. So they run their business at 200 kilometers per hour. They feel overwhelmed. They feel like they're constantly chasing their tail. They're losing track of their clients that they're working on. They don't know which ones need to be prioritized. So if you can relate to any one of those problems, straight away, that's going to be a relevant testimonial to you. The second paragraph, so the first paragraph is all about stating the problem or the frustration or the issue. And the second paragraph explains and shows the outcome or the solution that was provided or the peaceful, blissful state that the customer got to by using the service. So thanks to product or service, I now feel that I have a bird's eye view of all of my clients and activities. I'm loving the order and control, and the beauty is it's easy to use. So we'll go through now the key points that you want to be trying to get in all of your testimonials. Now, not every testimonial when you ask for them will be as good, but just think about, if I can try and provide a little bit of structure when I'm asking for them to people, you're going to increase the chances of getting a better testimonial. So, what makes a great one? If we can get a photo, it's very, very easy to get photos these days. You don't need to actually take the photo with the customer or get them to send you one personally from home. You can often find one on LinkedIn. It's a very good place for professional photos, because everybody's using that as a professional social media tool. So they're putting on their best clothes, their best smile. Facebook is also another good one if you're in a more consumer-based area. Quite often you can find your customers on Facebook, or they can, and you can take a cropping of a reasonably nice photo. You may just let the customer actually send you a photo that they're happy with, or if you want to have a hunt around, do a Google search for them, see the results that come back, and if one that you find you think is actually nice, then you say, how about we use this one? I think it's really good. Next, we want to make sure that there's actually a name associated with the testimonial. If we go back to our ad example, there's no name associated with this. I'm more than happy to recommend Joe Blogs Plumbing. They helped us fix our sink. The price was pretty good. Anybody could have written it. The business could have written it and just made it up and stuck it up there. Simply by adding these elements, a photo, a name, a company, a location, this allows people to, one, go and do a little bit of a search if they really want to and check that it actually holds up. Two, people accept that just by seeing it, it's highly likely to be true, and they don't need to go and do any more investigation. Otherwise, why would a business go out and blatantly lie and put their customers at risk by saying false information? So photo, name, company, location. You can also see I've put there a video, a little bit harder to get, but has perhaps a 10 times order of magnitude in weighting better than just a plain photo and testimonial. If you can actually get customers to love your product so much that they'll go out of their way to record a video on their phone and send that video file through to you, it has an immense amount of weight. So here are a couple of things. What else are we talking about? Seeing the type of profession or the company or the industry that they're associated with. That can help you when you're talking to your prospective clients and showing them your testimonials to see either the specialization that you do. You know, if you're all about athletes or all about schools or all about mums working from home or all about mortgage broking and lending, having that there allows people to see that, great, they can help me. If you've got a very big spread of customers, having testimonials from different types of industries, different types of professions will show people that you have a good reach and that it doesn't matter which industry you're in, you're really good at helping them. Really, really important is actually within the testimonial, the person highlights the problem or the headache that they had. And this is really good for two reasons. One is, firstly, it's highlighting problems and headaches that people likely have when they come to you. And if other people are reading it have those very same problems and headaches, that makes their ears prick up and go, great, they fixed that problem for that person. I think they can fix it for me. The other one is it actually highlights a really good feedback loop for you in your business and your marketing. If when your testimonials are coming through, you're reading the problems and headaches that people had, this tells you the language that you should be using when it comes to your website content or your landing pages or your Facebook ads or your billboards or marketing or flyers. When customers say why they came to you in the first place, that tells you that there are other people out there trying to solve the same problem or headache. So you want to take that very same language, which is often not the language that you would use in your business, and go and put that in all of the important places where people are first getting introduced to you. Finally, it actually is a great idea if it's got the happy ending in there. So how did the person end up after using your service? Why is it good now that they have used your service? So you were able to take them from state A with a problem to state B, a happy ending. So these are all of the key points that we want to try and get into our testimonials. So it's great to understand what goes into a testimonial, but where exactly are we going to be using them? This is probably a good time for a chat. So if you're already using testimonials, let us know in the chat, but also put on your thinking cap and where could you be actually putting testimonials on your business for people to see out there in the world. And we'll have a think about different ways that we can start to apply them. So while those chats are coming in, I'm just going to jump through. So things that come to mind for me, absolutely number one, top priority is having them on the website, on your business website. You want them on your homepage in a prominent place where people can see them. You want to have them on your service pages. So when you're talking about the different things that you can do and people are reading that, they can also see that someone else has had a good experience using that service. If you've got bookings or orders that you can take online, having a testimonial there right at the point where you're asking someone to part with their money is a fantastic place for it. Number two, landing pages. If you're doing any kind of marketing, either offline or online, and driving people to a landing page where you've got a particular goal for them to download an ebook or sign up for a free consultation or get a coupon code for 10% off on your next purchase, having testimonials on those pages maximizes your conversion on those pages. Number three, if you're in the B2B space and you have a LinkedIn profile, you can actually get testimonials directly on your LinkedIn profile for all of the companies you've worked at. You've also got Facebook reviews. So if you have a business Facebook page, you can actually have people put reviews on that page. Same goes for Google. So if you're a physical location business and people can actually come in and speak to you, even if you've actually just got a Google Plus page, but you are listed somewhere with a proper address, you can get people to use Google reviews to write reviews for you. And these will actually come up when people search for your business on Google in the search results. So imagine if people are looking for XYZ type of service and they see Joe Blogs 1, Joe Blogs 2, Joe Blogs 3, but Joe Blogs 3 also has a list of Google reviews and great testimonials right there. Which one do you think he's going to be picking, 1, 2, or 3? And number 5 there, think about when you're actually sending quotes and prices and proposals to people. At the point where you're asking people to really make the decision, this is the price, this is what we can do, we'd like you to come with us. If you can also at that moment show them testimonials, you're going to increase the likelihood that those quotes get accepted. And we can see some people that are putting through in the chat, testimonials on the website, social media on the website, just having a plain testimonial page. You're getting the idea. The more places you can put them, the better it's going to be for you. So we know what needs to go into them. We know where we need to put them. How do we actually go about getting them? If you've ever asked someone for a testimonial, I'm sure you've had the experience of having to almost chase the person. And that can feel like you don't want to keep going on with it. If they really wanted to give you a testimonial, they'd just do it first off, right? It's not the case. People are busy. People aren't quite sure what to write. They need to sit down and actually apply a different method of thinking to this typing and writing. So gentle reminders with people, keep following up, let them tell you when they can get it back to you. Don't feel like you're making an inconvenience or being pushy by asking for them. If you gave a good service, people have no problem giving you testimonials. So if we go into more specifics, how do we actually get ourselves to get our testimonials? First thing you can do is set yourself a reminder. So wherever you want to start asking for a testimonial, whether it's after you've completed a service or perhaps towards the tail end, or even throughout the process if it's a longer one, set yourself a reminder to ask the particular client for a testimonial. Method number 2 would be that you could actually build a specific flow. So build it into a flow or make an entire flow just for this purpose. And when I say flow, I mean in Ninjodo. So in the activity center, when you're finished delivering a product or service to someone, move them into this testimonial flow, and you can track whether you've asked for it, whether you've received it, and whether you've put it up on your website or wherever else it's got to go. And number 3, create an actual email template that you can fire off to people, which gives them all of the tips and bits that they're going to need to put in there and the things that you're going to ask for it. If you have to manually type these emails out every single time you want to ask for a testimonial, it's going to be time consuming and it will feel like you're putting a bit too much emotion into the request. So what we'll do now is actually jump into Ninjodo and we'll go through those 3 methods so that you can start implementing it in your account, you can work it into your business process and start getting those testimonials and get them up on your website, get them up on your LinkedIn profile, wherever you can put them. Just going to jump into ninjodo.com and we're logging in. Now that we've got some different screen size text, it's in the feedback on the right-hand side. Let me know how the resolution is, if you think it's too fuzzy or not. I'll try and zoom in a little bit more perhaps. Okay, so we're logged in. So first things first, we had the option of setting a reminder. So we'll go in and we'll see, all right, we were working with Logan recently. And let's say I know I'm busy now, I've just thought of it. I need to remind myself to actually go and write this email later. We've already serviced Logan, he's got our product, it's done. So what I can do is just go straight down to schedules, schedule a new. Now you could just put this under a to-do. If you wanted to send this via email, you may choose to actually call the particular client and ask them, would you mind giving us a testimonial, to have a little bit more weight to that. But what we'll do now is just do it as a to-do. And we'll say, ask for testimonial from Logan. We'll set the task for whenever we need to do that. I'll say Monday morning, I might go and do all of that in one hit. And I don't need to invite him, so I'll just leave that. This is a reminder for me. So save changes, and we've now got that reminder set. Let's see if we can zoom in a little bit more. I'm not sure whether that'll help too much, but we'll give it a go. All right, so that's option 1. Option 2 was to actually make it an entire flow. So after you've finished your resource, after you've delivered the products and services to the client, let's say we're working with Clark here, we've moved him right through, we've got the order. I'll skip these tasks for now. We get all the way down to job complete. So that's the end of the process. And we need to now think, okay, I'm going to move him into that flow. So if we look down the bottom, we've got drag and drop a person to move them to a new flow. We've got our installation flow, our new sales flow, our sales process, our strategic alliance partners flow, and then remove. So we don't actually have one created yet. So what I'm going to do is, before I move Clark, I'll go and make that, and then we'll come back here and actually move him into it. So I've gone up to the top right-hand side of the screen. I'm going to open up my admin panel. Now I'm just doing this in different tabs, but you don't need to. I'm looking down the left-hand side to drop-downs and flows. And we're going to look for sales and workflows, and we'll create a new flow. Now what we might do is call it after service. And the description here would be after delivering or servicing to a client, ask for, we'll start with a say thank you. and also ask for a testimonial. Now, we're going to start with some very basic steps, but as you get used to doing this, you might think of different ways that you can elaborate it. You might want to add in some more discounts or coupons that you can send to that client later down the track. So quite often we can think the job is done and then forget about the client until they come back to us. But if you have a think of all the different ways that you could start increasing those touch points after you've serviced someone, such as saying thank you, such as asking for a testimonial, such as sharing a blog article that you've written on your website that you think they might be interested in, and so on and so on and so on until they're ready to buy again. So the type of flow that this will be, it's just going to be a person flow because the job's done, the resource is finished. And I'll now go down and we'll add our first step. So what would the first step in this be? If we go back, we look at Clark, he's at the bottom of our job funnel, and I now need to move him into an after service funnel. So I'm going to think the first step might be get testimonial. What's I send thank you email? Send thank you email. The next step, actually before, we'll do it step by step. So I want to send the thank you email as soon as that happens. So I'm going to set myself a reminder for that. I'm going to the settings of that step and we'll create the task. We'll just do a to-do and we'll say send thank you email. And we'll do that. We could do it straight away, or we might want to do it the next day or something like that. And we'll just set it for ASAP. It doesn't matter when that happens for me. We'll save the changes. We'll now go and add a second step. So once we've sent the thank you email, we might want to wait 1 or 2 days and then request a testimonial. So we'll say testimonial request sent. Now this means that if anyone is at this step, I know that testimonial request, the initial asking for it, has already been done. So what I'll do is actually go back to this first step, send a thank you email, and create the second task. And that task will be request testimonial. I'll do this, let's make it 2 days later. I'll just pick any time of day that I might want to do this kind of stuff. Maybe 10 o'clock in the morning after I've gone through my inbox, I've got my day's planning ready, and I'll save changes. So what that means, just to recap, is we move Clark into the after service flow, and we're going to be told, send a thank you email. And as soon as he hits that, 2 tasks will be created. One is for you to send the email itself, and then 2 days later to request the testimonial. Once you've done both of those, you would then move Clark to the second step. So we've sent a thank you, we've sent the testimonial request. The next step would be that we've actually received that testimonial. We'll say testimonial received. And then when we get it back, we need to actually do something with it. So the easiest thing to do will be go and get it up on our website. And then we can think about other places that we can do it. So what we'll do is create another task. Again, it's just a to-do. Put testimonial up on website. And that can be ASAP, it can be anytime you like, it really doesn't matter. If you want to sort of space things out just so that you're not getting overloaded every time you move things. And we'll make that again, a 10 or a 10:30 type of thing in the morning. So we'll have done that. And then the final thing, because we want to track and make sure that we're actually not just getting the testimonial, but we're putting it to use. So we'll say uploaded to website. Now that might say uploaded to website, and then where else do you want to put it? But we'll just go with a straightforward, simple structure. Send a thank you email, send a request for a testimonial, get the testimonial back, and then go and put it on the actual website. So I've saved that now. I'll go back into our activity center, and I'm just going to reload the page so that new flow comes through for us. We can see it's already come in here. So if you ever get this situation where you're looking at an activity center, you're looking at a flow, and then you go and create a new flow, and now when you come back here, you don't actually see the people that you saw before. It's because what it's doing is loading up the first flow in the list. Now, this one starts with an A, so it's first, but after service is probably also going to be one that's used quite late in the process, and I may need to see the sales process all the time first. So what you can do is go up to the top right-hand side of the activity center, and you'll see there's a settings drop down. And here, each person in Ninjodo can choose what they want to see on the activity center. So I'm going to come down to the bottom, look at default flow, and say, I want to see the sales process first whenever I come to this screen. Once you've done that, we can now see I've reloaded the page and the sales funnel loads up first. So if you're in admin or sales and you're receiving inquiries, this would be a better flow for you to see by default. If you're in after sales, you might want to see the after service funnel first. If you're actually delivering bookings or services or products, you might want to have your actual resource flow, like the installation that we created last week, or perhaps a blinds and awnings installation. So just allow everybody in your team to actually choose what they need to see first. So as I digress just a little bit, we'll go back in now. We can see our after service funnel. We need to go and find Clark. So he was in our blinds and awnings installation, and he was sitting here at the end of the process, job complete. We can now also see the after service funnel is sitting here waiting for us to move Clark onto. So I'm now just going to move my mouse down on his picture, click and drag, hover over the flow I want to let him go on, which is the after service one, and let go. And straight away, we're able to now move him to that flow. And it's prompting us to create those two tasks that we wanted made. Send the thank you email tomorrow at 12:15, yep, and request the testimonial. This one will be Saturday, but we'll just address it on Monday when we come into the office. So we'll say, yes, create those tasks. And that's done. We can go on and address other people now in the funnel. Or we can actually follow in and do that thank you email straight away if we wanted to. So I can click on any one of these boxes and we just drop Clark into the add to after service flow. So I'll just click on that box and it loads that up for me. So that's how we can do the setting of a reminder. It's how we can actually create a flow just for getting these post-service things done. But we've now got to send a thank you email, and we're going to send another email later for requesting a testimonial. So that's a good opportunity to have two email templates created to save time, but also have this as a standardized part of the business that anybody could do if people move positions or if someone's off sick. Even just really to save yourself time. Sending an email template takes 4 clicks as opposed to the average of 10 minutes to write it. So to create the email template, we need to go off into the admin area. So I've gone up again to the purple button. I'm going to look down on the left for email. And the first tab is going to be email templates. So this should show us all of our email templates, and we want to actually create a new one. So I'll leave that as new template. Under template name, we'll say after service thank you. And obviously it's an email, so I don't need to write the word email. And for subject, just wanted to say Thank you. Come down to the body. Now, what I'm doing is just creating an email template. So any email template you need to create, you will follow exactly the same process that we are doing now. Hi, and as we always remember with email templates, we want to have the particular person that we're sending it to, their name to be inserted at the top, not hi Clark, because that will be Clark for everybody. We come down to the bottom and we can see available merge fields. We click on that, and under person, we can grab the person's first name because we're sending emails to people. So I click on that, it puts it up into the top bar. We highlight, cut, and paste. So hi person first name. If I'm sending it to Clark, it will be hi Clark. Hope your day is going well. When you write an email template, think about one person that you're going to send it to. It's going to make sure that it really comes off personal. So I hope your day is going well. Just wanted to reach out and say thank you so much for choosing to work with us, or me. Really appreciate your support and look forward to our next opportunity to work together. You could leave it short and simple like that, or you might want to add something else in there. If the relationship is not really that personal from the type of service that you've got, and Clark really didn't get to know you very well, you might want to give him a reason to come back and use you again in this particular email. So we could say, in and say, work together. So on the next occasion, please, I'd like to offer you a, let's say 15% discount on any of our services. Change this and say, show that appreciation. I'd like to offer you a 15% discount on any of our services next time you choose to use us. If you need anything at all, just let me know. Have a great day. Nice and simple, short and sweet, save the template, and it's ready to use. So I can now see the after service thank you. Next one we'll do while we're here is actually the testimonial request. So after service, testimonial request. Now, I'm typing after service just in case I end up building up quite a library of email templates, and I want to know that this testimonial request is for use after we finish working with someone, in case I have more than one testimonial request that I perhaps ask at different times. So the subject here might be, I'm wondering if you could help me with something. Oops, clicked away. So after service, testimonial request. Wondering if you could help me with something. Again, hi. Get our person first name from the available merge fields. We click on person first name, and then we cut and paste and move it into position. Hi, person first name. Again, I like to put pleasantries at the beginning just to make sure that people know that we're having a real conversation. Everything is going well. Wondered if you could help me with something. Straight away, people are going to want to know, what would you like help with? And now we need to outline what we're asking for, why we're asking for it, and then show them that good format of a testimonial so that they can just follow the structure, and it makes it a lot easier. So as we try to grow our business, find it really helpful when people can see how others have experienced working with us. I was wondering if you wouldn't mind providing a testimonial of what it was like to work with us, so that we could use it on our website. Would you be okay with that? Straight and simple. I'm finishing with a question. It will more than likely encourage them to want to respond to that because it's an open question. Now, I could choose to just leave it here and have the request for the testimonial in one email template. And that would be fine, because not everybody will say yes, not everyone will feel comfortable with it. So we can leave it like that. After service testimonial request. It's now ready to go. I can fire that off whenever I need. I could then put the structure in a different email template if I need to have that. So we'll create a new one and we'll just call this one testimonial format. So for anyone that's having trouble writing a testimonial, I'm going to send this one to them. Perhaps something this. Hi. Again, grab our person first name. Come up here, we cut. And we paste. And we're going to assume that we're sending this because they've said yes. So thank you so much. It is very much, I'll say it's very appreciated. And they've asked for some help, so we need to explain what we're looking for. It would be great if we could use your name. And you can say name and location, name and business. So we'll say name, photo. Say name and location for this one. Name and location. We can use just a first name if you prefer. But also use your own business name. We find it really helpful for others if they can see a photo. If you've already found one online, you could send the link just so that that's there. Now, I wouldn't put this in the email template. I'd go and find it when I was about to send it, and I'd put it into the email then. So would you be okay with that? And then finally, here is a structure you could follow that makes writing it easy. And we'll just say, this is a bullet list for them. Start with the problem you were facing before you found us. And we'll give them an example just to help people along. So e.g., I was looking for a simple solution to organize my business. You could exacerbate that problem to go into it a bit more detail. Maybe put a little more detail about the issue. E.g., we felt swamped too much work and weren't sure how to prioritize things easily. Then we'll want to say, then perhaps state why you decided to choose us, e.g. someone recommended us, or I felt they had great customer service. And then finally, say something about how your business has been changed or impacted since using us. E.g., now that we are using Ninjodo, everyone is on top of things and we are not letting sales fall through the cracks. And that's just a 4-point bullet example of someone to be able to write a paragraph. You could offer an actual example. Here is also an example of one that a previous customer has written, if it helps to follow or get ideas. And then just go and find one of your actual testimonials, grab it off your website, grab it from your testimonials file on your business, come down here, and we'll just take that paragraph, copy it, go back to my email template, and I'll paste it in. And I'm just going to put that in quotes so they know specifically where I'm starting and stopping. And I'm going to make it italic. So I could also just break this up a little bit, make that bold. I want to make it easier for people to read emails, especially if it's a little bit in length. So if we go back and review, we've got, thank you. Here's some of the things we want to see. We're asking for a photo. Here's a structure. Here's an example. And then we'll finish off with, if you have any questions at all or aren't sure, let me know. Happy to work with you on it. Thanks again for your support. And that will complete the whole email template. So we'll save that template. And we've now created 3 email templates that become part of our business. We can now go back to our activity center and we'll have a look in the after service. We've got Clark Kent ready and waiting for us to send the thank you email. So rather than going into Clark, I've got those email templates ready. I know that they're there. I don't even need to go in. I can stay right here, click on the email icon, go down to the bottom of my email compose window and look for the after service thank you. That loads up. Just wanted to say thank you and I'll send the email. So that's now step 1 done. I've sent my thank you email. It would help if I was connected with a correct account. You'll have your own account set up and that's obviously going to be working. I'll go into Clark. We'll have a look in here. 2 days later, I'll see the next pop-up reminder, send request for testimonial. I can click on his email address, find the template that we just created, after service testimonial request, and then I can send that email. So it becomes very, very simple and automated. Just follow the process that you create using your activity center. So I'll just jump in and have a look at chat because that brings it to the completion of those points that I wanted to go through. So if we have a look at, that'd be great. Adjust our business. Fantastic. So Alina's going to make sure that we get those copies of the email templates sent out so you can just straight away cut and paste it and put it into your account and start using it straight away. So if there's any questions that you want to ask around the processes that we just went through, pop them in now. And if there's nothing that comes through, what I'm going to do is actually give you a sneak peek at a screen that's available for you to start using, but it is in beta release. By beta release, we mean it's not complete, but you can start using it and see what's going to be actually rolled out into the system shortly. So I'll just give a second for any questions to come through before we go on and get a little bit distracted with that. All right, I think the anticipation is waiting for everybody. So what I'm going to do is open up this page. Now, this page is there to stop you needing to open up a calendar anywhere else except in Ninjodo. Currently, when you want to have a look at what you've got on your tasks, you can obviously see them from any of the screens that you're in. When you log in the morning or at any time, you can go back to your dashboard and you can see what you've got that's overdue. You can see what you've got on for today, and you can also see what's coming up in the future grouped by day. Now, that's fine, but if you're a busy person and you're really using Ninjodo effectively by having lots of reminders, to-dos, follow-ups, etc., this page is going to fill up pretty quickly and it might start becoming a little bit less effective for you. So this page that we've been building, that we've been designing, that's available for you to start using, is going to help you look at a calendar view of your day, your work, and you'll be able to pick any time in the future or the past. So to access this page in your screen in Ninjodo, don't do it now, do it after you get off the webinar. You can't actually click on anything yet, but go up into the address and you'll see go.ninjodo.com. And what I'll do is get rid of dashboard and just type in planner. So ninjodo.com/planner. And I'll get Alina to put this link into the chat for everyone shortly so that you can just click on it and open it. Actually, we might redirect you to it after the webinar as well. So I'll hit enter. And this is the new planner screen that will be available in Ninjodo. So nice, big, clear, free from clutter. Down the left-hand side, you'll see everything that's overdue, that's assigned to you that you haven't completed yet. So it's telling me in this account, I've got 2 things that I haven't done yet. One's from the 22nd of April and the other one's from last Friday. 10 a.m., 2 p.m., who it's with. I can see based on the icon and the color that it's a task. If I was to follow up with Logan and I was done, I could actually tick this and it would be complete. I could also click into any record from the actual task itself. So if I was to click on follow up on email quote acceptance from Simon, I'll click in on here and it's going to take me through to Simon's record. I can see what I need to follow up on. I can pick up the phone and dial. And then the next 3 columns, one is for today, the next one is for tomorrow, and the other one is for the day after. I can actually pick any time in the future I need. So if I needed to see what I've got on for Monday next week, someone says, can we have a call at this time? You need to check if you're available. So what I'll do here is just click on today. I get my calendar and I can pick next Monday. So I'll hit 9. It tells me all I'm doing is asking for a testimonial from Logan at 9:30 in the morning. So yes, I'll be free at 10 o'clock. And then I can go and create that task with the person. You'll see as I change the date to Monday, the 9th of May, the next 2 columns updated to the 10th of May and the 11th of May. So I can get a 3-day window look anytime in the past or in the future. So if I try this in the past, and I might go back to say April, if somebody needs to know what was happening on that particular day, absolutely nothing on the 12th of April. Or the 20th, we had something on the 22nd. And so you can see it's really, really easy to just if you're available at any particular time. I'll come back to today. And there's one other bit up in the top right-hand side of the screen. Now this says filter tasks by. And what this allows you to do is just look at a particular type of task. So if you have specific types of bookings that are coming up and you need to see what the day is going to look like from that perspective, you could come in here and click on filter by tasks. It will show you all of the tasks in your account. And you can say, all right, show me all of my phone calls. And it tells me that there are no phone calls set for these 3 days. If I try a different time period, again, nothing. I can then mix and match and say, I need to see all of my phone calls, all of my meetings. Again, in this account, I've got nothing. I can untick those and all my tasks will come back. Or I can say, show me all of my to-dos and all of my follow-ups. And the screen will just adjust for you. So this is the beginning of the planner. You'll be able to use it now just by using the link that we put in the actual chat and that we will redirect you to afterwards. There will be more things that come into this screen. Feel free to ask questions or make suggestions on what you'd like to be able to do from here. And to do that, you would come down to the bottom right, click here for help, and choose contact support. And then under message subject, it would be for the planner or the new planner screen. And you could ask a question, you could make a suggestion. If you've got any problems, let us know, but just keep in mind it is in beta. It's not officially released yet. You're getting early bird access, and then just pop in your message. And then down the bottom here, just make sure that your name and your email address are correct so that when we hit respond on those support tickets, that it comes back to your inbox, no problems. All right, so that concludes the webinar for today, everyone. I'm just going to go back and review any of the chats for any questions that you want to have answered. Feel free to ask them now, any how-tos. I'm happy to jump into the rest of the system, go through anything you like if you're not sure how to do it. So having a look through the chat now. Alina's going to make sure those templates get sent out to you. So we've got the 3 for you. One is the thank you email. One is the testimonial request, and then one is the testimonial format. Keep going down. Okay, could you, Dora and Amber, could you also attach it to a task to input a group or a follow-up? This is what I was trying to explain. I think maybe I went through that already after you asked the question. So Dora or Amber, if you're still there, just let me know that question that you asked earlier. Could it also attach it to a task to input a group or a follow-up? Just let me know a little bit what you meant or if I've already addressed it. Just having a look back here. Everybody else seems to be good. Covered everything else. All right, other than that, I think we are good for today. So again, we've just hit up on a bit over an hour. Fantastic. All right, so I've already addressed it for Dora and Amber. Fantastic. Any questions at all, as you know, always just use the support. Send it through. We're here for you. The replay will be available. You'll get the video link in the next couple of hours, but you'll also be available in the training library tomorrow in full high def if you've had any trouble with connections today. Okay? Thank you, everybody, and have an awesome rest of your week. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.